Hey fellow fans, this is Brian from BMA Comics Con, and today, Free Comic Book Day 2016, I had the amazing opportunity to interview DC Illustrator Jason Fabok. Some of his works are on Batman Eternal and the current going Justice League Darkseid War. Now, I apologize if this interview was unplanned, but hey, when opportunity knocks, you just gotta take it. So if you guys can think of any other questions that I should have asked or that I should ask in the future interview that I do, be it with him or anyone else, please leave the comments below. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for future interviews and videos from BMA Comics Con. Now, without any further ado, here is the interview, part 1 of 2 parts with Jason Fabok. So, what are your plans as far as Rebirth?
Did you have 2 more comments?
I just finished up Justice League issue 50, and then I'm taking a month off, and then
Open it up for you, please.
gonna be doing a series with Jeff Johns, but it probably won't be released until Christmas.
I can imagine you and Jeff Johns would be something to do. I mean, could you say what it was?
No.
Okay. Alright.
We're gonna hint at kind of what we might do. There's a couple of hints at the end of Justice League 50, but we're probably not gonna make an announcement until later.
See you guys next week. That's fine.
So, yeah, because I kind of just want to keep it. I just want to kind of relax a little bit for a couple months.
And I understand taking a month off, because you're not the only one, actually. It seems like everybody's taking a little break.
Yeah, I haven't really taken a break in the last 6 years, and I just feel like it's time to slow down for a little bit.
Understood. I'm also going to get one of these prints, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
And question, what's your favorite thing that you've worked on so far?
Well, I've been really proud of all the stuff I've worked with on Justice League. My favorite issue I've done at Justice League was probably issue 41, which was the big kind of beginning to Darkseid War.
And as you see, I'm just now getting it. So I actually wasn't reading Justice League, but Darkseid War is what I wanted to start with, because it just seems like it's great.
Yeah, like I got to draw like Mr. Miracle and all kinds of characters that are kind of C and D rate characters, but we tried to make them cool again.
Yeah, I've heard about War, and apparently it is great. The artwork too. That's why actually I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna start with Justice League War, and as soon as it finishes, going ahead and getting the next trade.
Yeah. So I really liked working on that, and one of the first issues I ever did for DC was Batman Annual #1, which I worked with Scott Snyder, and it was a Mr. Freeze story.
Yes,
and
I read that.
Even though, looking back on it, I think my artwork could be better. It was just a special book because it was like one of the big, I think it's probably in there.
It was in there actually.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'd actually like your signature on the front cover of that too. Back cover near the freeze would be better. It would make more sense.
Do you want it like on the actual here?
That actually works great for me, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So this was like one of those projects that it was special because
it's a great story.
It was a really good story, but then that kind of helped to give me more opportunities for my career.
Yes.
And so it's like one of those books that you just look back fondly and you're like, it was the beginning of my career, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a great experience, and I learned a lot from it.
Okay, so these should have dried, but I'll keep this open for a little bit.
Just for a couple seconds. It shouldn't take too long.
And I'd like one of the prints.
Yeah, for sure.
So you said just a couple of seconds to let it dry. Should be good, right?
Yeah, it should be good.
Alright, so favorite character to draw?
Batman, and with Wonder Woman coming in at a close second.
Okay.
Working on Justice League, I'd never really drawn Wonder Woman, and didn't really think I would enjoy drawing Wonder Woman, but then working on that book, it was so Wonder Woman centric, and I just really fell in love with the character, and I feel like I just understood how to draw, like how to draw her as a character and make her strong. And
I look forward to seeing your artwork on her. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Fabok, if I could ask you another question. You previously told me that Batman and Wonder Woman were your favorite people to draw. Which Batman is your favorite Batman out of the ones that you've drawn? Because I've noticed a slight difference between the titles, between your Justice League and Eternal.
I don't know, like...
And Justice League came after, so I'd assume the change is...
Well, in Justice League, we have Batman, he gets on the Mobius chair, which is the chair that makes him have all knowledge, right? So it was a little bit of a different take on Batman. I drew Batman sitting in a chair for like 8 issues, you know, which is a lot different than having him standing and jumping around and whatnot. So it was a challenge to draw, to make Batman still look menacing and mean while he's just sitting there, you know, floating around in this chair.
You guys are out?
I had a lot of fun with that, but it's a lot harder to draw somebody in a chair than drawing him, you know, running around and standing and whatnot. But, you know, anytime I get to draw Batman, I really enjoy it. And,
something you guys want now, or
you know, I like putting my own little touches on the character. You can't deviate too much from what DC establishes as like the look for Batman for this time period. But you can, you know, I do little things on the belt to make it a little bit more gay. You know, some of the lines on the body I changed to be a little bit more the way I wanted it to be. You know, and then from there it's just the body language. You know, proportions. I like Batman to be big and huge and mean and menacing.
As you can see right here, yes, you know, which is great.
You know, like my two favorite Batman artists are probably Jim Lee from Batman Hush, and the other one would be Frank Miller. When I read The Dark Knight Returns, he draws this huge, menacing Batman, and to me,
he does.
Just, you know, I love all different incarnations of Batman. I love the old Adam West TV show version. I love the Michael Keaton version. I love the Christian Bale, and I really like Ben Affleck's version too. So, you know, all of these kind of combine, and you know, you stew all those different influences together and try to put them into your take on the character. And hopefully, you know, you hope that you do a good job at your representation of this legendary character.
Which in my opinion you do. So would you say Batman's your favorite character? Just
of all, yeah, probably of all characters in all mediums, I think Batman's my favorite.
Why?
I unplugged this I think he's got. I like the aggressiveness. I like the kind of that darkness that he has, but it's kind of like, you know, this is a dark, kind of scary figure, and yet he's for you. He's on your side. You know, I like that. I kind of like that mixture. I don't know what you would call it. The balance that they kind of strike with the character. I think he's like the character that maybe got me into superheroes when I was little, you know? Like, I remember watching the Adam West TV show. That was probably my first exposure to Batman. Yes. So you had this friendly, happy, bright Batman, kind of goofy. And then I remember seeing the Michael Keaton version. It was like the total opposite. But I liked that version too. So I liked both of these kind of versions of the character. And ever since then, it's been my two favorite heroes are probably him and Wolverine, and they're both kind of similar characters in the sense that they're kind of like that dark, brooding, anti-hero-ish kind of character, but you know that they're a good guy. You know they're going to do the right thing in the end. I don't know. I mean, that might be just as simple as some guys might give you a really crazy, deep answer as to why. I think he looks the best. I think he's got the best costume. Give me more.
No, that's a good enough answer.
You know, the whole thing with the ears, you can draw the ears longer, shorter. It changes the way the character will look. The mask, different ways people draw the mask. You know, he's got the gray on the black with the yellow belt. I mean, it's just, I don't know. To me, it's my favorite costume, my favorite superhero costume, and I never get bored of of that look and of that character.
Yeah, but
So, speaking of the gray and the black, what's your thoughts on the new suit?
Like from the movies?
No, in the comics.
Like the rebirth suit? Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks cool. It's a little bit different. I always, whenever I see them come out with new costumes for the heroes, at first I don't really like the change, but once I draw it, I haven't drawn it yet, but once I draw that suit, usually it grows on me and then I end up liking it.
So I take it in your spare time, you draw things outside of, for your publishing deadline,
Sometimes I'll play around with things, but I don't really publish it, or I don't show too much of my stuff. Mostly because a lot of the stuff I do at home on the side is for a future project that I want to do, whether it's writing it or but right now it's just in the kind of the planning stages, and so I'll sketch up little character designs, but I don't want to show any of that stuff until I know for sure what I'm going to do with it.
So have you done any pitches for any stories or even just arcs that you're really proud of that have actually made it?
In what sense?
As far as getting to publish, have you ever pitched anything?
Not yet. With Justice League, working on Justice League with Jeff Johns, I was able to kind of pitch some different ideas of some cool things I think would have been neat in the story. And, he used some of those ideas and mixed them into his own
That's good.
ideas. So, that kind of stuff is fun. And I always like to throw out ideas, to whoever I'm working with. With Jeff right now, I've been throwing out, hey, wouldn't it be neat if we did something like this one day? Sometimes that grows into an idea that I might do in 4 or 5 years. Who knows? Right? I like to pitch. I pitch a lot of stuff with the visuals. So, for example, in Justice League, Jeff wanted to bring Mr. Miracle back, who's kind of like I don't know if you can call him a C or D-list character. Not many people know who this character is, but I said, if we're going to bring him back, I want to kind of modernize the suit a little bit, do something different with it. And, I just threw out some different concept sketches, and they liked what they saw. And, a lot of the design for Wonder Woman that I have in Justice League is only used in my book. And because Jeff saw a sketch I did years ago and said, that's what I want. Let's do something like that for this book. And fans really seem to like that as well. Every once in a while, I've done a lot of different character designs, and it's neat when they use them and they actually say, yes.
There's 2 big names to me that you've worked with, Scott Snyder and Jeff Johns.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite working with?
Well, I worked with Scott on the Batman Eternal Mr. Freeze issue. I've only worked with him once, but I really loved working with Scott. I would love to work with Scott on something again in the future. He's one of my favorite people in comics. He's such a great guy.
Agreed.
But I would really like to work with him again. But Jeff has just been one of those people that it's just been so transformative to my career and to how I see comics made. He loves to collaborate. He loves to talk to you about his ideas, and it's been just a life-changing experience to get to work with him. And we've become really good friends too, which is, he calls me at least 2 or 3 times a week, if not sometimes once a day, to go over ideas or see how I'm doing. And he cares so much about the project and about you as a person. You're not just a cog in the wheel. You're his partner on this book. And once you find somebody like that to work with, you don't want to work with anybody else, because it's like you found that person that you click with creatively. And you just really see the future open up really wide for all these different things that you could possibly do together. And so, both great guys, but Jeff and I just have this really great connection right now. And just going to keep that going as long as we can. Because I think it's hard to find somebody that you collaborate well with as a creative person. Creative people have their own kind of mind and will. They're very independent, But when you find somebody that you work well with, I think the sky's the limit as to the projects that you could do and the levels of greatness you might be able to hit together.
All right, and because you're so popular, there's other people waiting to talk to you, so I'll stop.